reaction been to the prices that have been on the food lately?
It's outrageous when you've got a family to feed. You have no choice. You have to feed them.
I don't buy that much things, but things that I do buy, they are going up.
It only takes a quick trip to the grocery store to see how prices have changed. Just a few weeks ago, lettuce was over $1 a head, and although its price has now dropped to about 39 cents, others have soared. How about fish? Low in calories, it's now high in cost. Filet of sole in 1975 was $1.79 a pound. This year at the same store, it's $2.39. And it even costs more to keep clean. Soap, which was 26 cents in 1975, is now up to 36 cents. Milk has increased in price from 65 to 75 cents. Chicken has also made the same jump. A broiler fryer in 1975 cost 65 cents, and now it sells for 75 cents. And if your bag of groceries in 1967 cost you $10, now it will cost you $19.47. With the increased prices, everyone is looking for a way to save. To some, it means doing without. Others make do.
As I see anything I consider too high, I just don't buy it. That's what, for instance, like lettuce was so expensive. I just quit buying lettuce. And I intend to do it, too, if it keeps up that way.
Generally make most of our own snacks, like cookies and donuts and cake and stuff like that, instead of buying Twinkies and that.
Now on Valley store shelves are generic brands, products without those fancy labels that are sometimes lower in cost. But shoppers we talked to told us they don't look at labels, they look at prices to find the best buy. And many of them said they use a list to keep from spending money on unnecessary items. With a large family, a list may be needed. One family we talked to not only keeps a grocery list, but a garden and 3 chickens as well, all to save money. It's dinner time at the Catons in Chandler, but before this meal got to the table, it required some careful planning and shopping. That's Eileen Caton's job.
We've got to shop around today with the price of food. If you don't, well, you can't afford to live, really, or eat properly if you don't shop around.
Feeding a family is costly, but when they're 6, it's downright expensive. But the Catons manage to spend only $56 a week for groceries. How? Well, for one thing, they prefer the price of homegrown to store-bought. There's a year-round garden of fruits and vegetables, and there are 3 chickens.
I have 3 eggs, which everybody thinks is a great joke. I have 3 eggs every day. They never let me down. And they're so... I forget they're there. The kids throw them some food every morning to get a can of food, and that's all we do.
The Catons hope to increase savings by producing more of their own food in the future. For items they do have to buy in the store, they find they spend less by planning more. Eileen plans her menus, shops every 2 weeks, checks the ads, and buys large quantities when the price is right.
I bought a 5-pound bag of rice, and it was cheaper than one of those boxes of minute rice. And it's much nicer.
She shops from a list and says it helps her avoid buying costly extras. And if something is too expensive, she eliminates it from her list and the menu.
We cut way back on coffee. We used to go through 3 pounds of coffee a week. Now we use 3 pounds a month.
And costly convenience foods and snacks never get into her grocery cart.
That saves me a lot of money. I don't buy any of the instant foods. I don't use instant mixes at all.
Although Eileen does most of the work, saving is a family affair. Her daughters keep track of needed items, and her husband Dick joins her for the trip to the store. What all the effort adds up to is a meal like this at a price they can afford. Eileen says it's not all that hard. She's been doing it for 24 years. As prices go up, she'll sure have to continue. Monica Lee, Cool News 10.
When you go to the grocery store, it doesn't matter whether or not you buy food here or some other household item like a mop, because either way you're going to be taxed for both. And for some people, the added dollars they end up spending on taxes could be used to buy that extra pound of hamburger to round out the family meals.
Well, for the past 12 years, some members of the legislature have been trying to get a bill passed that would eliminate all sales tax on food products.
And in a Senate committee meeting, the motion came up again, but this time it passed. Senator Manuel Pena, who has been pushing for the passage of such a bill, said he was amazed.
I've been introducing this bill now for 12 years, and this is the first time that it's ever cleared a committee. I have high hopes for it.
The main argument against the bill is the loss of revenue it would mean to the state. But supporters of the proposed legislation say there is a huge surplus to offset the difference.
Everybody's looking at how are we going to replace all this money that we're going to lose, and they will not accept the fact that we've increased the sales tax on general sales, and that has created a huge surplus. So we don't need to tax the sales on food anymore.
It is estimated that $81 million in state revenue would be lost if the bill is passed, but the average savings per family would be around $300 to $400 a year. Juanita Stevenson, Cool News 10.
Much of that 1% increase could probably be attributed to the rise in the prices of fruits and vegetables this month. Lettuce jumped 36 cents to 69 cents a head, and celery, not far behind, went up 22 cents. Most of the other items on our market list showed minor increases. A pound of ground beef was up 6 cents, and poultry up 4 cents a pound. Despite the trend, there were some items that did go down in price. Tomatoes dropped 6 cents to 49 cents a pound, and eggs were down 5 cents after a large increase in December. But these small decreases did little for the overall total. This month's basket of groceries, $21.18, 79 cents more than last month. But when compared to a year ago, the same basket of food was $2.45 cheaper. Phyllis Palacio, Cool News 10. The predicted high food prices, which are supposed to hit the grocery stores, seem to be climbing slowly. In this month's food basket report, we found there were no major increases in any of the items. Meat prices, which have been expected to go up, have remained stable for the last 3 months, along with the price of fish. In fact, the price of chicken has gone down 4 cents since June. Even produce prices have gone down. Tomatoes were 10 cents a pound cheaper where we shop, selling for 49 cents. Lettuce was 20 cents less, also selling for 49 cents. Celery didn't go up, but it's still a high 69 cents. The one major item we bought that increased over last month was eggs. They were 15 cents more at 79 cents. What caused the prices of our groceries to climb this month were the non-major items. Grapefruit up 10 cents, toothpaste 15 cents, toilet tissue and cigarettes up 2 cents. With all those increases added, the total was $22.72, 63 cents more than in June. Phyllis Palacio, Cool News 10.
Large or small, brand name or house brand, 8 cans or 8 ounces. Which one is the bargain? Without some careful calculating, it's hard to know. One answer may be unit pricing, a method where the store does the figuring so you can do the comparing.
Unit price labels like these help you compare not only different brands, but sizes in a particular brand. For example, if you're looking for the best bargain between 8 ounces and a pint of salad dressing, by checking the labels, you'd find that the larger size sells for less per ounce and is the bargain.
Unit pricing is not mandatory in Arizona. A Senate bill passed in 1975 amended an existing law to make it optional. The Arizona Center for Law and the Public Interest would like to see that changed. Today, a suit was filed by the center alleging that the manner in which the amendment was passed is unconstitutional.
In other words, the center feels that it's important for comparison shopping to have this information?
The center feels it's absolutely essential. Every indication we've had indicates that consumers would save considerable amounts of money. I believe several years ago, the New York State Consumer Affairs Division did a study which indicated that when consumers went into a store to try to price particular items, between 40 to 50% of the consumers could not determine which item had the lowest cost.
Until the case is decided, unit pricing remains optional, with very few stores choosing the option. But if the suit is successful, you'll find more signs like this in stores around town. Monica Lee, Cool News 10.
Teamsters Local 104 settled up with Fry's food stores this morning, a victory for the union to the tune of $1.90 an hour over the next 3 years. But pickets are still up at the other stores being struck, like Safeway, Bayless, and Associated Grocers. The walkout is in its 9th day now, and the striking drivers and warehousemen think shoppers will soon feel the effect.
Now, normally we run probably in the area of 50 to 60 loads per day, as some days as high as 70 or 80 loads a day out of the warehouse. Now, at the present time, to the best of our knowledge, we're only, probably getting out probably 15 to 20 loads a day.
And shortages could mean higher prices, but grocery industry spokesmen don't think that will happen, at least not right away. They say replacements for the strikers have been hired, that most stores are back on a regular schedule now, and only a prolonged strike could push prices up. While all of this is happening, store managers have been reassigned. Some are doing what this butcher is doing at company packing houses. Others are loading trucks. This is the Bayless warehouse. And still others, like these men at the Associated Grocers warehouse, are driving their own or rented trucks filled with food they've packed themselves. They don't like the strike, neither do the strikers, and both sides agree that consumers won't like it either if it is reflected in the price of their food. Bill Lagatuda, Cool News 10.
These men have been picketing the Alfred M. Lewis plant since they went on strike 2 weeks ago. There has been no settlement, but the workers have received some unexpected help on the picket lines. Some wives and friends showed up late this afternoon. They too want the strike settled and their men back to work. But one woman who called herself just a housewife came because she said she was tired of the high grocery prices.
Why? If these guys are out here on strike and they're hiring men to do the work cheaper, then why are we paying more money for groceries?
Dolores Glenn is a waitress. Her husband has worked here for 18 years, and this is the first time he has had to strike. Mrs. Glenn says it's hurting her family.
It's disrupted our whole family. He walks the picket line, so I figure it's my part to get out too because there's no groceries in the house.
There were only a handful of women carrying the pickets, but they promise more will be out tomorrow. Juanita Stevenson, Cool News 10.
Have you ever thought about just how important a grocery bag is? Think about how difficult it might be carrying a week's supply of groceries from the store to your car and then from the car to your cupboard without a bag. Well, in some parts of the West Coast and Arizona, grocery chains are, in fact, running out of sacks. It's because of a West Coast paper mill strike that has idled thousands of workers at 24 paper mills. Here, it appears, there are no problems. At Fry's, for instance, customers have for some time been getting paid 3 cents for every returned bag in a special program the company offers. But for the most part, a grocery sack crunch is being avoided by stockpiling.
Is that affecting costs in any way, particularly of groceries?
No, not at all, not at this particular time.
So, Phoenix, you might be thinking about how lucky you are to have grocery sacks available, especially the day before Thanksgiving. Mike Era, Cool News 10.